Well, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? Hope everybody doing well. Man, old Charlie looked like we got it by ourselves. It's Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road
What
Sport again. This
singular on the sport.
yeah, Dirt Road Sport. Glad to be with y'all. Glad y'all tuned in. We got them tuned in from everywhere. Some of our regulars, they always hit us right when we come on. They dialed into us, and we proud to have y'all with us. We sitting here tonight. And it's overcast. I see clouds all around everywhere. It's overcast. We we got some good rain scattered around this afternoon. A little bit here at the old original Garden of Eden, but we got a little spring. I got some reports coming to y'all a little bit later on in the show tonight from a guy that knows the weather. He really watches the weather. He don't really need to look at the weather to know what the weather is going to do. He can kind of feel it as it comes. So if it kind of feels like it ain't going to rain, then he's out there running them irrigation systems to make sure all them got plenty of diesel fuel in them to run, and the electricity is cut on, and make sure he got everything going. But then and then sometimes he just kind of feels it in his bones. It feels like everything's gonna be all right, and they'll get a good rain. But I got a weather expert that's gonna be on here with us in just a little bit that can tell y'all all about the weather, about how it affects livelihood of people around this part of the country. But Charlie, what about y'all over there? How y'all coming along with the rain situation in Alabama over there?
It's a hit and miss. Some folks getting it a little bit. Some folks getting a lot. Some folks ain't getting a whole lot of anything. So it's got several more chances, but I think those chances are going to be dwindling down. Looking at some of the information I see, but it's probably y'all been getting more over there than we have over here. I can tell you that.
It's been raining in the same spot, that kind of I've heard the old folks talk about it's in a pattern. Nothing got in a pattern.
Yes,
And my
sir.
dad always used to talk about it. He said, son, we may get a rain out of this. He called it Peter's mud hole. It was southwest. He would always point to the southwest. That was Peter's mud hole. I don't know who Peter was. I don't know if Peter had a mud hole or not. But anyway, he said that's where the rain would come from. And I took him at his word, and he'd be pretty right about that thing. But sometimes he it wouldn't quite get over to where we needed the rain, at that proper time. It get pretty close. But I know anybody that's farming out there has experienced all that, especially before we started digging all them wells and putting all in them high price irrigation systems in and
Ooh,
toting that pipe all through that corn and doing all
mm,
that kind of
mm,
stuff.
mm.
I lived through that mercifully. But glad to have y'all with us tonight. As y'all can see, it's Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sport. I don't know where Queasel. I have had no report from Queasel at all. Anything Queasel, there's a lot going on in his world, and sometimes you have to iron with the hottest iron. Whichever the iron is the hottest, that's the one you got to iron with, and that's probably what Queasel's doing tonight. I'm sure he's got something important going on in his life, something that he needs to be seeing after, and by all means, let's let him do that. But now,
I,
Marvin.
I, I was going to say, I wonder if he was at the tabernacle with Marvin, but he the tabernacle man. Go ahead.
Well, but Marvin typical Marvin, and we love Marvin. Charlie and I and Queasel love Marvin to death. We get it. He had called me testing the waters this afternoon about what going to be able to be on, first part of the show. Going to be on the second part. It'll no, it can be all be. Anyway, that's fine, Marvin. No problem. Just go ahead and tend to your business, man. I know you got all kind of church business that you got to see after, and because he has a lot, and that's good. That's what the Lord called him. He called him to be a preacher. He sure didn't call him to be a TV star. He called him to be a preacher. He's good. He's good.
Did, did,
He's good at being a preacher. He's pretty good at being a internet and TV star when he's on the air. You see, that's what the problem would be. He's not on there now. But then he tested the water with me, Charlie. I don't know if you're aware of that, testing me, see how I was going to react. And he should have known how I was going to react. No big deal to me, one way or the other. But anyway, he sent this text out. And I think you and Queasel both got the text. And
oh yeah.
this is a transcription of the test. A text I'm talking about. Let me read. Let me see if I can pull that thing up here. He said he would be. Let's see what Marvin said. He would be. Let's see. Marvin said he would be joining. Will be late coming on tonight. This
Yep.
was 3 o'clock this afternoon. Gentlemen, and then he put in parentheses, Charlie. I said that loosely, calling us gentlemen, saying that loosely, kind of taking a snide remark, about us not being gentlemen. Gentlemen, I will be late coming on tonight due to VPS at the Tabernacle. Okay, that threw me for a loop. I got confused about, you know, the tabernacle, and I always do my research here. We don't come on here half baked or ill prepared. I always do my research. Charlie does here. Now, uh, I can't say what Queasel and Marvin do, but I'm just speaking for me and Charlie. So I looked up. I said about tabernacle, the definition of tabernacle. That's where Marvin's at, the tabernacle. In case any of you are wondering, Marvin's at the tabernacle.
Wherever it is.
Wherever it is, I don't know. He didn't say. He said at the tabernacle. Okay, and I looked it up. I did my research. According to the Hebrew Bible, which is whoa, I said whoa, whoa. Like, got to think about it. And according to the Hebrew, that's the Old Testament back. That's the 5 first books, ain't it? Ain't it, Charlie? The Hebrew Bible.
That's right.
It quits, it quits when they reach the promised land somewhere along in there. According to the Hebrew Bible, the tabernacle, also known as the tent. Now, here's what I'm going to go ahead and relate to all our viewers that's watching out there in TV land. Marvin, I promise you, and that group of reverends that he's with are not in a tent. I promise you that. Wherever they are, fully air conditioned. It's fully air conditioned. It's got indoor plumbing and lots of it, and they got a buffet line. Wherever they are, they're not in a tent. You will.
It's going to be a cold inside thing. Heat index at the Dothan Airport last hour was 94 degrees. I know they ain't going to be in no tent with a 94-degree heat index. But before we go any further, we have some information. Since you and I don't get told a whole lot of anything, I can testify that Queasel, can you see this? I can testify. Ziggy is testifying for us tonight that Queasel is laid up eating a nice salmon steak. Not trying to tell his business, but she does know what she knows.
She knows. Case closed. Because Miss Queasel come in there this afternoon. That Queasel didn't come into Ziggy B's this afternoon.
No.
Miss Queasel came in there and got them salmon steaks and put them on the grill and cooked them. So as we speak, I guess Queasel is he's feasting, if you will.
Yeah.
Marvin, as we speak, is feasting right now. He's feasting or just got through feasting. But it says that the tent of the congregation was the portable earthly dwelling of God used by the Israelites from the Exodus. That means from the time they left Egypt until the conquest of Canaan. That means when they crossed over the river, Jordan River, got into the promised land, Canaan land, if you will. So 40 years, they was in the 40 years going in there, doing all of that. And I guess the tabernacle kind of went with them as they went. But
it was mobile.
If they in a portable tabernacle.
You know what? What has Marvin always wanted?
He wants him a Prevost bus.
He may have come through and got him a Prevost, and that is his new tabernacle.
Maybe the tabernacle. Any of y'all out there know what the tabernacle is? I wish y'all would let us know.
Please.
We searching right now for an answer.
And I understand you have a sponsor that is connected to Marvin somehow or another that has bought the big billboard for the show tonight. Is that true?
Yeah. Marvin's trying to stay low key on this call. Marvin sees an opportunity. He knows an opportunity when he sees one. He feels the market out, if you will. You know how all these young women and all this, some of the older ladies and all too. They all of them drive them big old Suburbans. I know a little woman that drove a big old black Excursion one time.
Yeah,
black Excursion. She could stand on the ground. She could crank it up and leave it running on the ground. And fish bait would come up out of the ground. It jarred the ground so much. Fish bait has come up. Grunt fish bait with it. So they drive all them old big excursions and expeditions and Tahoes and what's that thing that's bigger than a Tahoe? What is that? The Suburban. They got them old big Suburban. So Marvin sees an opportunity there, so he's opened up a school, and it's Marvin's Marvin's ladies only parallel parking school. So if
Whoa!
y'all want to learn how to park your big SUV, parallel park your big SUV, call Marvin. He is
So,
just tell him, man. I don't know what he's charging. There's no telling. But let me tell y'all better be careful of the man that's doing your teaching if it's Marvin, because I've seen Marvin try to parallel park before, and I just get out of the car and just walk off and leave it because it takes him long enough to park. I'm already where I need to be by the time he gets parallel
whew.
parked. After he's done knocking the headlights off about 3 or 4 cars around there. So that's just but Marvin's an entrepreneur. He tried to find out a way to make $1.
Uh-huh. Quick as he can.
Mar-
I wonder if they have to graduate from the normal parking to be able to go to Marvin's parallel park because they need to learn how to park in a regular spot.
In one spot, yeah. Here's a lady chimed in and said, Floyd, I think Flat Creek is having vacation. He didn't say nothing about Flat Creek, Piggy.
He
He
said
didn't say nothing about
tabernacle.
Flat Creek. He said VBS at Tabernacle, at the Tabernacle. So somebody tell me, send me a picture. Send us a picture of the Tabernacle. We'd be
Eh,
glad to put it on. Only tabernacle I know, only church tabernacle is Second United Holy Holy Tabernacle of Love, Brotherhood, Sisterhood, and Scrutiny Church.
Amen.
And that's up there in Damascus.
Mm.
That's the only one. Second United Holy Tabernacle of Love, Brotherhood, Sisterhood, and Scrutiny Church. It's the only tabernacle I know of. So I guess he's up at Damascus at that tabernacle at vacation Bible school. And they probably, now I don't know about what kind of air conditioning they got at that tabernacle. They may have them some box fans and a window unit. That ain't going to work for Martin. We got a
Uh,
live audience back here tonight. I don't know if y'all can hear us or not. We got a live
yeah.
audience. Yeah, and I'm glad they feeling good. They happy. And I got a live guest in the audience here with me too. We're gonna get him on in a little bit. He's trying to figure out what he's gonna talk about. And I know I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give y'all a clue, I'm gonna give y'all a hint what he is real good at. He's good at growing peanuts, and he's good at killing wild hogs. So if you a hint, it
I
is.
think we know.
Because
If you could,
that could cover a lot of these South Georgia and South Alabama and North Florida rednecks. That could cover a lot of them. But he's an expert, if you will, marksman.
before
Will.
before we get behind, Cody, if you could put Ziggy Bees up there. Uh, do you know what tomorrow is, Floyd?
Yeah, I know what tomorrow. I know what especially. Go ahead and tell them about it. Actually, you were telling me about it today, and go ahead and tell them about it, and make sure. Do you know that she got 2 choices for her?
Oh
For her.
yeah, double deal tomorrow night. It's the Low Country Boil, but a new twist. Listen to it, folks. Get your orders in by 2 o'clock to Ziggy Seafood because tomorrow night you can enjoy one of two things: a shrimp Low Country Boil with that great sausage, potatoes, all the trimmings in there for $13.99, or for $17.99, try this: shrimp and crawfish
Mm,
together in a Low Country Boil with that
mm,
corn, taters, sausage, all of it. You can't buy a meal that cheap, and especially when you did it with shrimp and crawfish. And it's ready. She got you some dipping butter in there. All you do is take it home and enjoy it. So get your orders together, and by 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, make sure you call Ziggy Seafood and get that in because you don't want to miss this. The crawfish and shrimp are just the shrimp. It is delicious. I will be over there myself tomorrow. It is great. And if you don't like that, take you some shrimp home or let her steam you some shrimp. You got the salmon that evidently Queasel has done OD'd on the salmon because we ain't heard nothing out of him. He's eating a salmon steak tonight. All kind of great seafood, catfish, mullet, you name it, it's there. And you won't find a better seafood shop anywhere in the Wiregrass area than our friend at Ziggy Beach. Check it out. Floyd.
Amen, brother. Ain't nothing no better. Ain't nothing no better.
Mm.
You know, I've been kind of out of the loop this past week. Hadn't really been paying a lot of attention to the news and all that kind of stuff. And you know, I got to notice in the last day, especially the day they got fired up. Yesterday they got fired up with Trump and Elon Musk. Got all
Oh yeah.
the wires is crossed in there, and you know I don't understand that. They were big buddies one day, and then the next day, Elon hates Trump. He's coming up with all kinds. And here's my opinion. I know everybody's got an opinion on this. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are basically they think alike. They both want to be number one. And when you with Donald Trump and he's president of the United States, you can't be number one. Trump's
You
number
can be
one.
number two. You
can
can
be
be
number
number two.
You can be number two now, Elon. You can go over there and be number two, and everything will be cool. But you can't be number one because the folks didn't vote for you. I know I didn't vote for Elon. I
Nope.
don't know nobody that cast a ballot for Elon. He wasn't even on the ticket, if you will. So Elon, you smart and you rich, man. You're the richest man in the world. You can do all kind of things. But just because you rich, don't mean you got no sense. See, you can have sense and still be a complete fool, and that's what he's what that really acting the fool. Elon is acting the fool. He's there's another word for it. He done come off the rails, and it ain't gonna work out good for Elon. In fact, I got to listen a little bit more about what was going on with Elon and Trump. And Trump's he's trying to get this country back on track. He's trying to do away with all this excess spending and all this money thrown away. And I thought Elon was in on that. But when Trump cut the electric vehicle subsidies off in the bill back in the big beautiful bill, Elon got his hackles raised up, man. They was getting in Elon's pocket decent because Elon wasn't going to get his hooks and all that government money that the government's been paying out for all these electric vehicles. And then he turned against Trump on that. And it's always what you got to do is if you see a fool somewhere acting a fool, all you got to do is follow the money.
And you know what happened today? Closed stock market.
Yeah.
Tesla took a large nosedive.
Tesla's toast. Elon he done made all them lunatic Democrat electric vehicles Democrat. He done made all them mad with him because he was Trump's buddy. Anybody now that's a Trump supporter, they ain't gonna buy no electric vehicle, and they ain't gonna get no government subsidy. So it's an old saying about it. I've heard the old folks talk about this. Talk about when somebody really screwed up a good deal. I mean, it's when you get an individual, and I've heard old folks said he done crapped in his hat. Now he gonna have to pay it. Basically, that's what Elon has done.
Woo.
I mean, a big one too. I mean, a mullet rope one, and he weared it. So,
oh man!
We all grown folks. Everybody, we all grown folks. And if that offends you, you need to cut us off right now before you get offended anymore later on in this show. Please cut us off because we're gonna offend you somewhere down the line. I promise you. And it ain't gonna bother us one iota. I guarantee you that.
Cody, if you could put those first pictures up, please, sir. I want to do something right here, Floyd. Several veterans from right in this area, 2 of the Korean conflict era, 6 from Vietnam, got to visit the nation's capital. And this is of course, they visited monuments that, of course, honored the sacrifices made by our troops overseas. Gary Maddox got to be, there's the 8 right there all together in front of the helicopter at Daleville Community Center and Civic Center. That they took off and whirlwind tour of Washington, D.C. Gary Maddox got to be one of the escorts to help a couple of veterans on the trip. Let's hear what he had to say. Gary Maddox, it's an honor and a privilege to be in your shoes, I would think, going off with these veterans, honor flight to Washington. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, sir. I'm very proud and honored to be able to go with them. I've always been a big supporter, especially of Vietnam veterans. I lost a cousin over there in 1970.
This group here will go to Birmingham, where you'll get with another group and give us a little idea in just a short period of time what y'all be doing up in Washington.
Well, I know we're going to Arlington National Cemetery and going to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And I think the World War II, and of course the Vietnam War, and several other places, Charlie, I don't even know about.
Good luck to you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Help these guys that we're looking at enjoy this once in a lifetime trip.
Take them up there.
Once in a lifetime trip it was. They are back. They had a wonderful time. Got to see changing of the guards and all kind of different things going on in Washington, D.C. And, of course, visit the walls where the names of a lot of folks they knew probably on that wall serving in Korea and Vietnam. You know, the sad part about this thing, Floyd, is I know a guy up here in Headland, good friend, Wayne Skeen, who was supposed to be on the trip, and his health had deteriorated. He wasn't able to go. And then another friend of mine and Wayne's that we had his funeral about 2 months ago. Those generation of the Korean and even the Vietnam era, it's got to where it's, you can come back to me and Floyd, if you will, Cody. It's got to where back when I was doing TV, I remember promoting and helping raise money for the honor flights for the remaining World War II veterans. They're all about gone, just one or two here and there. And we're seeing that now with the next generation, and that would be those that served in Korea and the early part of Vietnam. But we honor all those who served and fought overseas.
Yeah, I tell you, we had some Korean veterans here that I knew. One of them he was a barber. It was Mr. Wallace Reagan. He was a Korean veteran. Another was a good friend of mine, Otis Miller from Dawsonville, a good sized farmer over there. And some of the stories they used to tell, Charlie, especially Otis, of course, at the barbershop, I'd listen to Mr. Wallace Reagan. He'd talk about some of the things they went through, some of the ordeals that they had to endure in Korea, about how cold it was. And we had a Korean veteran here, Mr. Cecil Davis, who worked with Mr. Roy Bush at Mr. Roy Bush's service station for years. He delivered the diesel and the gas out to the farms, and he would pump gas and in people's cars. And he shuffled. He slid his feet like that. He walked, Mr. Cecil. He'd go. He never quit trying. But he would walk. He couldn't take normal steps because his feet froze so bad. I almost had to amputate his feet. It just ruined the nerves in his feet, and he could just slide and shuffle. But he worked until the day he died here in Carver, Georgia. So that's just three right there that I remember telling about the stories from fighting in Korea, which was a early Vietnam War, if you will. It was a meaningless war, and it couldn't win it. No way. The politicians wouldn't let you win it, and politicians, when they took over, started running the military. That's when it really went south, and it deteriorated pretty good until Pete's man came in. Until Mr. Pete Hegseth came in under Trump, Department of Defense, and kind of getting this mess straightened out and cleaned out. But anyway, they sacrificed a lot. The veterans, they went through a lot so that we may be able to do what we do.
Amen.
What else? We got another. We need to pay another bill. Got another.
Yeah, let's pay another bill.
Put one up there, Cody, and we'll talk about it, man. It don't matter who it is. TK's Bar and Grill. I'll do this from Charlie. TK's
Go
Bar,
ahead.
one of the best places you'll ever eat in your life here in Cogwood, Georgia. Good lunch. You go in there all during the week. You get you a good lunch in there all during the week. Home cooked right there. Cook it on the spot. They don't open up a bunch of cans and pour it in a pot and warm it up. They cook it right there. Good food, good people. Good place to go in there and eat on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday nights. They're open. They open for business at night. You go in there and get you a good plate. Get you some good fried catfish, blackened catfish, shrimp po' boy, hamburger steak, a good T-bone steak, whatever you good, delicious baked potato at TK's Bar and Grill right here in Cogwood, Georgia. Local home folks run that thing. Farm family, they run it. They know what they're doing. They know what good food is. Y'all go and see them in there at TK's Bar and Grill in Cogwood, Georgia.
All right. Well, we heard from either one of the government employees and the preacher.
Somebody, Cody, somebody sent me a picture of the tabernacle here. I think I sent it to you. Did you get that picture, Cody?
I hadn't received it yet.
Hadn't received it. Well, I must have not sent it to you. I thought sure I sent it to you. The name of this tabernacle is the Thomas Tabernacle, if you will.
Thomas Tabernacle. All right.
That's what they say. The Thomas Tabernacle. This is, I mean, a viewer just sent it in to me, and that's the first picture I've seen of a tabernacle. And yes, I don't. It's an anonymous viewer that sent this picture in of the tabernacle.
Oh.
I guess that's where I'm questioning that Marvin being at this place right here, the tabernacle that this picture showed up. I'm questioning that because this don't fit Marvin's criteria, if you will.
Well, could you elaborate a little bit more on?
There it is.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is. That ain't in Damascus on account of that. I might be in Damascus, Syria, but that ain't in Damascus, Georgia, right there.
Now got some hills in the background that I don't think Gucci could plow that field up there.
He couldn't level that field. He could. That looked like what do you call that thing? You put terrace. That looked like a big terrace, don't it?
Turf road is what Yankees call it.
Turf road.
He might sit up on top of that and do his hog hunt and got a better shot at him, but I don't think he could plow that one down.
No, there ain't no hogs over there. Not where that come from. Oh no, them Jews and them Arabs, they ain't gonna have no hogs around them. No. You know how you can clean out Gaza? Can clean it out. I'm sitting next to a man right here that if he could clean it out, because he'd catch enough hogs in one night, put them on a ship, put them on an airplane or something, and just fly close to the ground over there and just push them out the back of that airplane. Them 300-pound, 200-pound, 300-pound bull hogs. Just push them out in sows. Just push them out, and they'll hit the ground. Some of them will break a leg or something. Most of them will just roll.
They'll hit the ground running.
They'll hit the ground running because he's seen it before. They'll hit the ground running. They clean all of them Muslim terrorists out. They be gone. They can't stand it. They more scared of a hog than they are the booger man. I'm telling you, they can't stand no hogs around them. He clean them out. That's what I told. I was talking one time about it. Osama bin Laden. Oh, he's in caves. I thought, man, please. All they got to do is go out there. They a man on 1,200 acres of land right out here between here and Bellevue. His name was Carlton Pete Cook, and he had 1,200 acres of and it was about 700 or 800 acres of it timber, woods. Wasn't timber, it was woods, and on the big drain, a little old stream branch ran through it. Hogs everywhere. You'd run over hogs going back and forth to the house. Hogs be dead hogs everywhere. I know one time me and Nadine lived out there pretty close to him. And Babcock Woods on one side, Pete Cook on the other side with hogs. He had hogs everywhere. And everything Scout got in my yard out there. I got in my Nadine's yard. She had planted. Mama had given us some daylilies and planting daylilies. And they got there. I couldn't see the hogs because they'd be at night, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Then next morning, you ought to be rooted up the daylilies and rooted up whatever you had. They'd be turned over your stuff out there on your patio. Hog tracks everywhere. Well, I had at one time I was in a hog business. And I had some woods, and I had me a fence. And mine was fenced in hogs. I seen after them. I had feeders and all out there, but I had me a pen out there also. And I had my pen. I had me like a trap door in my pen where you could run them up in the alleyway there, run them up in the chute, and they couldn't back up. So I had me a pen feed that. I had that flap door. So anyway, I got them hogs, and I said them hogs are hanging out down there. There was a pond on our place down there called the Gator Hole. Them hogs hanging out down around the Gator Hole down there. So I got me some corn. And some shell corn. It had shell corn. I went down there and pulled out a bunch of shell corn in my pen. In my pen where I catch my hog, and had that trap gate up like that. Had that gate up like that. Well, I had me a stick, pretty good size stick thing under there, and them hogs would come in there. They'd be 7 or 8 of them in there. They'd be 7 or 8 or 10 of them in there. I'd go down there, and that trap door would fall on them, trap them in there. Well, I'd go down there with my hog trailer, and I'd back up there. I'd load me up a load of hogs, and I'd take them up here to Seaboard Stockyard there. Mr. Arthur Kelly and Alan Cobb was buying hogs every day. They buy hogs, bring hogs up there, and they sell them. They grade them right there. Man, I bring him hogs, and I had me. Anyway, I run it with Pete one day. I said, Pete, I tell you what I'm doing. I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. I said, I'm selling your hogs. I said, they rooting my yard up. They done got my wife all upset about rooting up the mama's daylilies and all that kind of stuff. I said, now I'm selling your hogs. I said, how much money you want me to give out of this project to you? He said, I tell you what you'll do. He said, if you'll do this, he said, if you'll sell them in your name, said I give you 50-50. He said, I can't sell them because the FHA got a lien on them. So I thought it was I was selling hogs and had a lien on them. So I was part of the conspiracy to defraud the federal government. I know the statute of limitations. Billy Shingle, if you listen, you may have to get me out of a title. Statute of limitations. And any of y'all realize, any of you farmers that's ever farmed under Farmers Home Administration, that y'all know the drill. So let me hear a testimony from some of y'all out there. I see some of y'all done chimed in here. I know your names. I know what you do here. So let me hear from you, if you will. But that was, anyway, I thought that was interesting. I said, well, I'd go up there and get me a check, and I'd go by the bank and cash a check. I'd roll back by Pete's place and peel off him $20 bills to him. Man, he was as happy as he could be. So he didn't have no pen to shut no hogs up with, if you will. He had
Mercy.
Catch them. They'd run them down. He'd catch them, throw them in a trailer. I don't know, man.
What was Ed Neal's uncle's name that had the place in Chipley?
I don't know. That was out of my jurisdiction.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about they had the auction down there. And he was kin to Ed Neal. I think it was his uncle. And there was this black gentleman one day that
was it Buddy Neal?
Buddy. This is a Buddy story. This was told to me by one of the participants in this. And the participant was Gene Reagan. Gene would quote at noontime the Chicago Board of Trade price of cattle, hogs, on down the line, and wheat and all the different commodities. And this black gentleman came down there with a pickup truck with the bodies on the side and the back, and had a load of hogs. Started unloading. Hogs ain't bringing it. He said, Mr. Buddy, said Gene Reagan said they're bringing so much. He said, well, son, you need to take them hogs to Gene Reagan and sell them to Gene. And the man drove to Dothan, to Webb, to the TV station, trying to sell his hogs to Gene Reagan. True story.
I don't doubt it, man. It's like you folks in Martha's Vineyard. You have no clue what we're talking about.
No,
zero clue what we talking
about. We're glad you don't have any clue.
I'm glad y'all don't know, because you might wander off down here and try to interlope with us down here. But all we do is we don't think this stuff up. I mean, we don't just write a script down and come up with, because you can't write a script for this.
No.
This is what we do. And like I say, if we was at TK's or if we was wherever we might be, if me and Charlie was there, we'd be talking the same thing, because something brings up an old story, something we've lived and experienced, and I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad of it. It kind of makes me feel good. We got a we got a story to tell, if you will.
Between the two of us, we have witnessed a lot of stories in our time.
Yes, sir.
And all the years of working with the wrestling business, I worked with a number of characters there. And you get to look at about 25 years, almost 25 years of doing the early morning show and the different guests I had on and some of the characters that was in that group. I've seen a little bit of everything. They ain't, Martha's Vineyard crowd ain't got a clue
They
as
ain't
to
got
what
no
life
clue.
is about.
They don't. I wonder what they doing at Martha's Vineyard now. On their patio. I wonder what they're doing on their patio tonight at Martha's Vineyard.
Well, they're having a coming out party for
yeah. They having a coming out
for
party for
Obama's daughter, who has decided to drop her last name.
well, she just go by one name.
I don't know
First
what
name.
she's going to do, but I saw that in the news today that Michelle was okay with it. That the girl, one of the daughters, is going to drop the name Obama.
Well, look at here. The only thing that'd be any better for them is if the girls decided they was gonna be a man. That don't be the only thing that make them any happier. Because 90%, 95% of them folks are living on Martha's Vineyard. If they got a boy, and he come up to them and tell them he wants to be a girl, and he's 3 years old, they'll think that's the coolest thing in the world. Whereas if you're 3 or 4 years old down here in Southwest Georgia or Southeast Alabama, Northwest Florida, you come up and tell your daddy. He's out there just come in from working on an irrigation system or something that you've decided you're going to be a girl, and he's going to have to start calling you instead of Frank. He's going to have to start calling you. He's going to have to start calling you Florine. He's going to wind up picking himself up off the floor. Is what he's going to do. First thing he's going to wind up doing, picking himself off the floor. So
Oh, Cody,
Lord,
can we talk about Sowega? Let me tell the folks about Sowega Meat Company.
put it on,
Two
bro.
locations to serve you. One on Highway 27 between Colquitt and Blakely, and the one right up the road from me in Headland on US 431. Now, folks, a lot of other stores have started saying we've got USA produced, and I think a lot of it came from them here in Sowega and us here on the Dirt Road Sports talk about locally produced meat processed right over there on Highway 27. You get it when you go to Sowega Meat Company. Great steaks, great ground beef, any type of steak you want, whether it be a T-bone, porterhouse. There's a little difference there. Ribeye, or maybe you like a New York strip or a filet. They got it all. They got great smoked pork chops. Finest you'll find anywhere. All you need to do is warm them up. And at the Headland location, all types of casseroles that you just preheat that oven, throw it in there for 45 minutes to an hour, whatever it tells you to do. And when it gets through, you got your meal cooked. Got some pastries too, some cinnamon rolls, anything you can imagine good to eat. You'll find it at Sowega Meats, and located in Headland, Alabama on 431, and the location over between Colquitt and Blakely on Highway 27. Get you some good groceries at either location tomorrow. They'll be open for business and ready to wait on you. Floyd?
Well, just giving everybody a time frame here was Marvin. Marvin's text indicated he'd be here about middle ways through the show. Well, we about 3/4 of the way through the show. Any y'all out there that might be able to look at a clock and tell the time. Apparently, Marvin cannot tell the time. And here's another deal. We do not have a trivia question tonight that I'm aware of. Do you have a trivia question, Charlie? I don't have one. I've already done the free plug on him with his women's parallel parking school. I've done that. That's all I'm gonna do for Marvin tonight. I'm not gonna carry the load, Marvin's load too, because that's a heavy load to have to carry with Marvin carrying the load. So all we can do is talk about the Hissy Fit folks. We don't have a trivia question, and I'm sure Marvin don't have a trivia question. He probably nobody at the Tabernacle has a trivia question. So we out of the trivia question business tonight. But throw us a hissy fit deal up there. Let me talk about the hissy fit folks a minute.
Do that.
Hissy Fit, Southern Hissy Fit, a great family of people. They run that thing right here in Concord, Georgia. They actually live in Blakely, but they got a business in Concord. They were in Blakely for many years up there. Just great people that know how to treat their customers right. Good people with a good product. And an interesting thing, my good friend and I, Wayne Gucci, we were at the John Deere dealership this morning. And Gucci went in, and I had already seen the guy that was at the that Gucci Kate came out the door with. What was our friend's name?
Randy Mercer.
Randy Mercer from up in Blakely, Georgia. He works at the Platt equipment here at the John Deere dealership in Concord. And I had already seen him. Wasn't this morning? Was it yesterday morning that we saw him, or there was yesterday morning we saw him? Because I had gone to the place here in Concord and got me and Nadine a biscuit, and he was in there. He was in there before. It was about 7:00 in the morning before we went to work. And he said, "Man," he said, "I sure enjoy y'all's show." And he said, he said, "I watch y'all every Thursday night, get a lot out of it." He said, especially, I really enjoy talking about and to Wayne Gucci. So Gucci is kind of a quasi-star, if you will, in the internet world. So he didn't say anything about like you stole his Floyd or anything. It was all about Wayne Gucci, is what he was talking about.
Oh.
So anyway, me and Gucci wound up at the store a little bit later on in the day, and that morning, the day before yesterday morning, we wound up. Gucci had to go get something for a irrigation system or something. So I'm waiting in a car out there for Gucci to come out, and he comes out with Randy Morse. Randy Mercer. That's that guy's name, Randy Mercer. He comes out with Mercer, and Mr. Mercer said, "I want to know he said, "I want to know how I can get one of them tags. If you got a picture of one of them tags up there, Cody, if you can put a tag up there on that, we give away right there, Charlie Platt, the Dirt Road Sport. All y'all got to do is go by the Hissy Fit store on Concord, on the square in Concord, on the southwest corner of the square in Concord, Georgia, right next to McMurray Auto Parts. All y'all got to do is go in there and tell them y'all want one of them tags right there, and they'll sell you one of them tags. They're dirt cheap. I mean, you'll make money by buying one, you know. So you'll get if let's just say if you spend $15 on the tag. I don't know what the tag costs. It don't matter. Money is irrelevant to somebody that don't have none. And if you let's say you spend $25 on the car tag, you'll have $200 worth of compliments for the day's over with. So you'll make money by buying the car tag at Southern Hissy Fits.
That's right.
This is. You can't go nowhere else. The Macy's does not sell Charlie Platt the Dirt Road Sports car tag. Home Depot does not sell Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports car tag. You can't get one.
Lowe's does not sell.
It's patented, and we got a patent pending on it, if you will.
Let me say, Floyd, you and I, and Gucci's in this crowd too. He's on with us tonight. In fact, it might be Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sport and Gucci from here on out, the way it looks. But anyway, we both are blessed with friends, and I want to acknowledge that type of friendship. Gary Maddox, you saw a little bit earlier on the show, gave me some. I went up and taped that thing he gave me some right out of the garden squash, cucumbers, blackberries, fresh picked, ready to go. And I took me some of them squash, Floyd, and I took some of them Charles pickle onions.
Yes.
Sliced up that onion, sliced up them squash, put them in a pot, and I ate enough for 3 folks today at lunch. That is as good as it gets. So to our friends that take the time to say, hey, stop by, I got something for you. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And that was some fine eating there, and I'm going to tell you.
What you talking about? Homegrown, man. Grown with love. Every bit of it. Every mouthful you have is love's involved in it. And Charles Pickup, just like your buddy over there in Alabama, Charles Pickup, one of them old boys. Hey, man, y'all come on, I got all the greens you want. Come get your green, turnip green, mustard green, collard green. Help yourself. Patches open, and all that stuff ain't free now. It costs to do that. It costs money, and it costs time, and it costs labor to do all that stuff. All that stuff has a cost involved in it. But he opens it up and says, "Yo, come on." So he's bread on the water. And that more people need to do that. You know,
it's a ministry to Charles Pickle to do that.
A ministry to him. Exactly right.
Yes, sir. Ain't no
He's
doubt.
like a missionary. We're still waiting on Marvin, and I have not heard a text or anything out of Marvin, so I guess we can pretty much dismiss Marvin. In fact, if Marvin comes on, Cody, if you're still in charge of everything, just put the mic, just mute him, and we'll go on with what we're doing. He can go on, his mouth can be moving and all that kind of stuff, but he won't be saying nothing. We won't have, and if you can, just put a blank something over his face there so we can't see his face.
Well, Ted Avery might have something here. This could be listening in Panama City Beach, Florida. Marvin may have been taken. One shall be taken, and one left.
Man.
Woo!
Hey, Aaron, getting deep now.
We got some preaching going on now.
Testifying right now. Well,
he's a tabernacle.
Let's do another commercial, Charlie. We got something. Let's go talk to somebody. Let's talk to somebody else if you want to. Talk about somebody else if you want to. Who we got on that, Cody? It don't matter. You talk about them, right there, Charlie, if you will.
Oh, okay. Holstered 9 in Carpet, Georgia. Folks, we talk about it every week on this program. You won't find a better selection of handguns, long guns, all the accessories, all the scopes. Not a lot going on hunting-wise now, but it won't be long. It won't be long at all before deer season opens back up, bird season, and we're going to do that in this part of the country. Everything you might need deer hunting, dove hunting, quail hunting, any type of hunting, hog hunting. They got something for Goocher. At the Holstered 9, stop by and see them right next in part of Phillips, and they got the great different things you might need to repair your vehicle, repair your farm equipment. They got the lubricants, auto parts. You'll find it all at one location, and that's the Holstered 9 and Phillips Auto in Colquitt, Georgia. Check them out under the big American flags.
Amen, brother. Good folks. I visit with them regular down there. They're going good folks. Speaking about visiting with folks, got a visit with me tonight. Special guest tonight with me, none other than, if you will, Mr. Get in here a little bit closer in here, Gucci, if you will, man. We get your face going on.
Screen ain't big enough.
Screen ain't big enough. Yeah, that was all y'all out there that's watching in TV land, y'all know who we got here. Y'all know who I got here sitting next to me. None other than Edwin Wayne Gucci Jr. from Early County, Hintown, Georgia, if you will. He lives right down the road from the crossroads at Hintown, where the famous Pete White store used to be. Some of y'all folks might have visited Pete White's store at one time. Now, he's a big rolling store man. That's a you kind of live in a, what do you call them places when you a historic site is where the Gucci lives. He lives within sight of a historic site. Pete White store with the rolling store. I remember the rolling. Do you remember the rolling store, Wayne?
Oh yeah,
you do. What you like most about the rolling store?
It's just like a little children chasing an ice cream truck when you hear the rolling store coming down.
He blew that horn when he blew that horn coming down the road. And all kind of folks on there have all kind of good stuff. Candy bar, baby Ruth bar, Milky Way bar, squirrel nut zippers for you folks. For you folks in Martha's Vineyard. Squirrel nut zipper ain't got nothing. It ain't got nothing to do with your sexual orientation, if you will. So,
I heard rumors that they delivered a lot of sugar with them trucks too.
They a lot of canning going on. Yeah. A lot of people they putting up mayhaw jelly, and they putting up fig preserves, and they putting up all kind of jams and jellies and sweet pickles and doing all that kind of stuff up there. A big, industrious bunch up there around Hintown, Georgia. If you
Didn't they can corn with that sugar too? They did some kind of something with the corn, cream it up and can it and
cream
make
up,
it pure white in a jug.
yeah, they didn't have sweet corn, but they had
Sour corn.
sour corn. It'd be
Oh,
sour
yeah,
corn.
it would be sweet corn. It'd be sour corn.
But anyway, I got Gucci with me tonight. Y'all know him out there. He farms up in Early County up there, and Gucci's been blessed, ain't you, Gucci? This week you've been blessed,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and it's been raining around. As me and Charlie were talking a little bit earlier about, it's been raining around in spots. Some people got big rain. Some people got a little bit of rain. Some people might not have got much rain at all. But that thing goes both ways.
Yeah.
If it rains on you today, it may not rain on you again for the next month and a half. But Gucci's going to share a little bit about with us. Tell us how far, where all do you, the area that you farm in, Wayne? Where from where to where?
I farm from the rock mine to the county line on 27, and got rain everywhere in between today. This afternoon, I was at 4 o'clock cutting off one irrigation this morning, and had an inch and 2 or 3 tenths around that area yesterday afternoon, and then this afternoon I was trying to get back to a pump before it got too wet, and I think we got 3 to 4 inches in some of them places right there around the house.
Whoa!
I mean, they put it down right there in just a few minutes. Seemed like water about to run over the road there around Mr. Ricky Langley's place and all places. I hadn't seen water that big in a long time right through there.
That's on that Damascus Hilton Highway.
Damascus Hilton right there.
That's yeah. I know what he's talking about right there. That's kind of a built-up area road there too. It come a good rain, and y'all have seen good rains like that. And I tell you what, we used to call that, man. That'd be a crop maker right there for you. And a crop saver is what it'd be for you, and save you for one thing from having to get out there and run all them irrigation system day and night, burning that diesel fuel, electricity, and everything, and working on them things day and night. But he's blessed, Wayne's blessed, and I hope some of you people out there that's listening in, some of you farmers that y'all know who you are. Y'all know how much rain you got. Let us know. Chime in there with us, if you will, on the remark side over there of our screen, and let us know how much rain you got. We don't count our blessings tonight.
I got a question for Gucci, if I can. Wayne, what's the spread as far as economics is concerned using diesel fuel as opposed to electricity when it comes to watering the crops?
Well, I wish I could answer that question, but I don't have any 3-phase close enough to me to be able to try the electric part out.
Oh, okay.
I'm all diesel fuel everywhere. I've heard people talk about they don't see a whole lot of difference, and there's problems with both of them.
I've heard some power bills on a couple of center pivots for a month that blew my mind. I know I could buy a load of diesel fuel what they're paying electricity wise.
That's right.
But I think if you run the electricity, if you run over into certain time periods, they hit you pretty hard with some penalty rates, is what I understand.
Yeah, that's right.
Farmers ain't got a good situation any way you look at it.
I was watching today. I mean, we got a lot of ag people watch us, and we live in an agricultural. We are dependent upon agriculture, if you will, in this part of the country. And if we're boring y'all with agriculture, I tell you what you do. If you're bored listening to us talk about agriculture, give up eating for about a week, and then call us back and tell us how you're getting along with that. Okay, we'll go ahead and get that resolved right now. So if you're gonna get your hackles all raised up about us talking about farming, quit eating for a week and call us back, and then we'll talk about farming then. But that's what we do down here. That's our lifeblood. That's the other people's got good paying jobs, and the good paying job is good as long as that good paying job lasts. But farming has got to go on forever. If farming quits, if farming stops, it ain't like closing a plant down somewhere. Something's gonna happen. You're gonna find a job somewhere, or something's gonna happen. But if the farming quits around here, you talk about what Ross Perot said about the giant sucking sound. You're gonna hear a giant sucking sound, and it's gonna be us. That's gonna be sucked into it. But I was noticing today, Wayne, I want you to. They were talking about the urea prices, and urea is a form of nitrogen that you have to have if you're gonna make corn, or if you're gonna make wheat, or just about any kind of crop that you grow that requires nitrogen. I think peanuts make their own nitrogen. You don't have to put that on that. But if you're growing corn, if you're growing wheat, you got to put nitrogen on that crop. Whether it be sweet corn or field corn, whatever it is, milo, any kind of grain, you got to put nitrogen. It went up about 15 or 20% in the last few days. Nitrogen. I heard that on that farm channel today, that the RFD channel today. They were scratching their head, don't know what to do. Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing, and this is just my opinion. Y'all don't involve Wayne in this. I'm gonna pull this back around here, so I'm gonna give y'all Floyd's opinion on this right here. And this is my opinion, and I've noticed this for a long time. Farmers are limited as to who they can get their input from, who they can get their crop input needs from. They're limited as to the people who can provide that. You have big corporations that, and I'm not going to call out any name, I'm not going to do that, but the people that sell the fertilizer and sell the chemicals, there's very few of them. You can't go anywhere, just anywhere up and down the street there, up and down the road, and say, well, I don't like your price, I'm gonna go over here. No, you're gonna be limited to about two, is what you're gonna be limited to. And don't think that them two, you put the mute button on him. Go ahead and put the mute button on him now. Right now, put the mute button on what we're talking about. Don't think them two hadn't already colluded, if you will. And I was telling a friend of mine one day, I said, y'all need to get you and I'm talking to the farmers. I'm talking to the backbone of the country. Now, this is Floyd talking. This ain't got nothing to do with nobody else in here. This is me. It ain't got nothing to do with Marvin. It ain't got nothing to do with Charlie or nobody else. Y'all need to get you a class action lawsuit against these fertilizer companies that are ripping y'all off. And let me tell you, if you owe them some money, they are ruthless to collect it. So I'm just telling you, listen, and I'm telling you from experience from 45 years ago, my personal experience from it. So they're limited as to who they can buy their product from, their input. They're limited to their fertilizer and their seed and their chemicals. Something's got to stop. Something's got to come to a halt with that, or the farmers cannot stay here. They cannot keep paying those exorbitant prices and keep getting less and less for the crops they produce. Now, that's my testimony for the night. I'll put Gucci back on here and we'll talk about some. Hello, Marvin. How you doing, man? You were playing at the tabernacle, Marvin.
Whoa. We have defined from the Google folks and the dictionary folks tabernacle, and a lot of folks might not have known, but a tabernacle was something from the Hebrew Bible that was portable and went with the children of God. So I had an idea, and I just want you to tell the truth. Don't be no Jesse Duplantis on that and brag like my wife's got a jet and I got a jet. We just wondered if the traveling tabernacle could be a Prevost that you have been asking for ever since I've known you.
I would travel in a Prevost, but hey, I'll settle for a Yugo if I have to.
Yeah, you could fit in a Yugo. Yugo couldn't pull off with you in it, Marvin.
They ain't got enough motor. No.
They got enough horsepower. What do you mean, Marvin? We've been missing you, man. We ain't said a word about you. I promise. You can run the
Yeah, I bet y'all hadn't, but no, we had a vacation Bible school this week, man. We've been blowing it out, young'uns everywhere, hanging out the windows, swinging from the ceiling fans everywhere.
That's good, man. I hope y'all touched some of them. I hope some of them got. Yeah,
Hey.
I hope y'all presented the word to them and just didn't sing praise songs all night long.
Hey, they learned about Jesus, and they had to hear me preach about Jesus a little bit. And listen,
good.
all we did was tater plant. We planted the seed, baby. That was it.
Well, the plant ain't got no seed, but you got to draw. Is what actually a tater is.
What you mean a
draw,
tater?
You don't plant a
It's
tater
got an
seed.
eye on it. Hold on, wait a minute now. A tater's got an eye. Well, that's the equivalent of a seed. You're planting the seed.
Yeah. He fluctuating again. He fluctuating, Charlie.
Well, let me say.
Cane seed look like.
Let me interject something here. We're talking about eating this kind of food, that kind of tater eyes and everything else. Let me tell you about the Peach Depot on Highway 84. You want to talk about food? Gucci, have you
Mm.
been over there and got you that ice cream yet?
I'm diabetic. I got staff around there.
Oh, it's low sugar, I guarantee. Look, that is just an example right there. Big news, Peach Depot, they'll be open tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and on Monday. Check them out on Facebook. But we got some, in addition to tomatoes and cucumbers and all the vegetables coming in, squash, this week, starting tomorrow, in fact, creamed field corn and white peas are going to be ready for you. That's right. Creamed field corn and white peas starting tomorrow. And they also have a couple of new items I want to mention: a stone ground uh, grits and stone ground cornmeal, the old fashioned way. Look at here. Go check them out. They got some good groceries. You won't find any better, any fresher than the Peach Depot. While you're over there, enjoy some of that soft serve with that wonderful peach or strawberry topping on it. You won't find anything any better. Located on US Highway 84, Iron City, Georgia, just a short drive from Dothan or wherever you may be. Get over there and get you some fresh produce and enjoy some good country food at home. You won't find any better place to shop than the Peach Depot, Iron City, Georgia.
I tell you what else they have over at the Peach Depot that's good. It's
Pe-
boiled peanuts.
Peanuts, I
You had
forgot
some
that.
of them justify on them boiled peanuts, man. They got them things dialed in
Mm,
just right. They ain't too salty, but they salty enough. Cooked good. Me and Nadine love them things.
Hey, Floyd,
Man,
look up at the corner. Rojo done joining my sisterhood out there at the church. And women that'll fight for me when you start talking about me.
who? Fred, ain't they nobody popped up here talking gonna fight for you?
Yeah, she
Ain't
said,
nobody from your church popped up here on my screen that's gonna fight us for you over you.
Rojo man, I said, she's done joined my sisterhood of the women at the church. She said,
she,
Floyd, you just told the preacher a story. You have been talking about him. So see there,
oh,
Rojo done brought me. That's a casserole woman right there now.
Well, go, yeah, she'll bring you one. I guarantee you. Yeah, she'll turn against me in a heartbeat. I promise you. Yes, sir. I see it right there. I'm under the bus, baby. Mhm.
mercy.
Oh, man. So
Marvin,
what?
it is good to see you. Tell me what y'all have to eat tonight.
We had a taco bar, taco salad
Ooh,
bar,
ooh, ooh.
tacos, all that, and all kind. There was a round. It was a 10-foot table of nothing but desserts just stacked up. Chocolatey Claire, chocolate cake, sugar cookies, tea cakes, cupcakes, ice cream.
I'd have
And
just
you had
passed
some of
over.
all of it.
I'd have just passed over the taco bar and went straight for the dessert thing. Taco bar. Y'all Baptist and you talk about a dang taco bar? Man, please, what kind of Bible y'all studying now?
We said we have. Hey, tonight was we do it. I mean, the churches do Hispanic services, so we just had a Hispanic night tonight.
Man, I can't believe it.
Fried
I
chicken
can't.
with fries.
I tell you what, ain't no Pentecostal church gonna have no taco bar at no Pentecostal church.
Hey, the Pentecostals, I know they'll eat anything.
Yeah.
Hey, you
If
ain't
they
gonna
put
believe.
it out there, I know it was good. I want to back off on y'all. I want to back off on you, lighten up a little bit on you there. But anyway,
Hey,
you, yeah.
you ain't gonna believe this. One of my senior adults coming to Bible school tonight on Griggs Lucille Road. An alligator run out in front of her. She hit it and tore her car up. Ain't no
Ooh,
Now, where was that on? Well, what road was that on?
on Griggs Lucille going to the church.
Griggs Lucille. Good. Not a lie.
Yep,
Tore a car up, hit an alligator.
yep.
uh,
Mhm.
Unreal. Unreal. So I don't know now. Y'all got to tell me where we at on advertisers and all that because I
You don't
don't
need
know.
to worry about none of that, Bobby. Bobby, just back off now, Bobby. You just sit right there. We'll call on you when we need you. Okay?
Okay.
You're
Rojo,
gonna parachute in. Now you're gonna parachute in, and then you're gonna start telling me and Charlie how to run the show. Now, did you hear that, Charlie? I mean, we'll just go there and do what we say do.
Roho, Roho, I need your
He ain't
help.
on your clock. He
You're
ain't on.
just a guest tonight, Corey.
Yeah, you
All
yes.
right, I got
Marvin.
you. All right, as long as y'all take care of
all,
the payers, I'm good.
all that lacks to be talked about is castrating Carl. And,
I got Carl. I got Carl. Talked to Carl this afternoon. He got a new deal. Y'all put Carl up there. Put his
yeah, yeah.
deal on there. Custom cattle service. Our good friend Carl Chrisman over there from Bascom, where you don't have to ask him, and he goes by this nickname, Castrating Carl Chrisman from Bascom, where you don't have to ask him for it. He said he's got 40 years experience. That car is about 20 years old, if you will. So this is about 60 years experience. He's been doing it. He's been doing it ever since he could hold a knife in his hand. So y'all call Carl if y'all need anything done with the cattle business and handling your cattle or helping you with your cattle, marketing your cattle, whatever you need. Well, you got a portable corral, you got portable chutes, got the whole deal. He can help you haul them. He does good cattle work at a good honest price. And he said anybody out there's got a herd of cows or might be a herd of hogs that somebody has caught and they need castrating, he can do it. So you listen to me now, Gucci. I know you got one of them pens that you drop down and catch about 50 at the time. You might can trade with Carl to come castrate them hogs and make a suit out of them, and they bring more money. So think about that. You know, don't just abandon them out there. So Carl Crispin can do it. He's a good guy. You'll love Carl if you ever had the opportunity to talk to Carl. Just call him up sometime on his cell phone number, if you will, right there. You may not be in the cattle business, you may not be in the hog business, you may be an insurance salesman, if you will. But call Carl up on that 850-557-3764 number and talk to him. Now he will testify. I tell you what, you'll be more learned when you get off the phone talking with Carl than you was before you got on the phone talking to him. Call Carl Crespin right there, cattleman. He'll work on your cows. He'll do them. He'll do you a good job. He'll treat them right. He'll treat you right. When pay time comes, he'll treat you right. He ain't gonna give you no bill that you can't pay. Call him right there. Castrating Carl Crespin from Bascom, where you don't have to ask from Florida.
Just text in running a special during the summer. 25 castrations at regular price, you get one free.
Get one free, no matter who he is.
I see
Hey, wait a minute. Carl might open a new business up around Martha's Vineyard, changing them men's to women's. He can change you. Let me tell you what Carl can do. Probably, I don't know what Carl charges per castration, but probably he can take care. So any of you men's up there in the Martha's Vineyard that all of a sudden have woke up and decide that you are a woman, call Carl. He get you fixed up for probably about $25. He get you fixed up for $25, and you will no longer be a rooster. You will be a hen.
You know, I see my buddy Matt McLean at McLean's in Daleville watching. Not only they got a good restaurant, he's got a good cattle company. So Matt, if you can figure everything that Floyd just talked about out, call me when the show's over with. I want you to decipher some of this. And we got a Thomas woman watching. A Thomas woman, and we got Thomas Tabernacle, Holly Thomas. Anybody know who that is?
Tommy Thomas, but he used to be from was he from Panama City down there? Tommy Thomas Chevrolet.
Yeah.
Huh? It's another
We're
Thomas.
talking about Holly Thomas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why didn't they know her?
Marvin better know her.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah, I have to walk on.
Since we got a special guest on tonight, Marvin. I don't know if you heard him a little bit earlier or not. We got Gucci on here with us tonight. Gucci's been talking about the rain. He was blessed with rain. I mean, he got a good rain. I don't know if you got in on any of that or not, but he been blessed with that. And Gucci is he's in the swine elimination business, if you will. he's in
Bang bang.
swine elimination business, if you will. Crop. He's crop insurance man. He'll protect your crops. He'll keep them swines. you keep them swines from rooting up your crops. Cause I promise you, them that's got that 30-06 or 45 or whatever. I don't know what caliber he. What you
6.5 Creedmoor.
or what a 6.5
6.5 Creedmoor.
6.5 Creedmoor. I promise you, any of them that walking around with
5.56.
with one of them in it, he ain't gonna root your peanuts up.
Can you use them to castrate with?
Huh?
Can you use that to castrate with?
No, you got to call
Yeah.
Carl. You got to call
Yeah,
Carl to
I've
castrate.
castrated a few of them with it.
Going the way it hits him at.
Lit their fire.
Trying to finish planting peanuts this week and having trouble with our guidance systems on the tractor. I'm gonna get a couple of hogs to tie to the front of that thing because they go dead on the road. They stay dead on the road. I talked to my boys that run the planters for me earlier in the season. We planted corn this year, and I learned a new trick. I told them, I said, y'all set that corn planter where to be planting dead in the middle of them two peanut rows instead of on top of it. And they laughed at me, but hey, they don't know what running the middles on your corn was like. But them hogs knew what it was about. They run the middles on all my corn for me, rooting up the volunteer peanuts.
That's it. Yeah.
But, yeah,
They go for that peanut. That makes sense.
when the corn come up and the peanut rows were rooted up, they saw what I was talking about then.
Wow.
Old school.
That's old school. Yeah, that's figuring it out.
That's right.
That ain't in no book.
Nah.
Yeah, that ain't in no manual, if you will. UGA hadn't done a study on that. How about study? I know we running on time in it, but I got to think about it. Talk about studies. Y'all know the Democrat Party has just spent $20 million study to figure out what a man is. They ain't figured it out. They can't figure out what a man is. What makes a man a man? They hadn't figured it out yet. Well, they don't know what a woman is. You know how how they gonna know what a man is if they don't know what a woman is?
They ain't.
That's a Democrat. That's you Democrats. That's who y'all vote for, people. That's who you send your money to, if you will. So keep doing it. Keep throwing your money away. Now I wish you wouldn't, but you do. Your money and spend it like you want to. But I thought that was pretty wild.
It's about time for Floyd's impossibility, but before we go to that, we need to make sure that our attorney, Billy Shingler, is with us. 29229-524-1225 is the number. Because Floyd may need old Billy before the night is over with. Because earlier in the program, you might have missed it. I'm sure you were at the dessert bar, Marvin. But Floyd confessed. He confessed of his sins and hopes that the statute of limitations is run out. But now that Donald Trump has a new prosecutor, I don't know. So, Billy, please be willing to help us, the Dirt Road Sports, and yours truly, in case Floyd has got us with trouble with the Farm Service Agency. We need you. But if you need a lawyer, folks, call Shingler Law, 229-524-1225. Don't matter if it's a minor little infraction that you may have come across in your life. If it's a divorce, and that can be a major or a minor infraction, or whatever the case may be. There to serve you, whether it's make out a will, get you out of some problems you might be in, defend you in a court of law. You won't find any harder working attorney than Billy Shingler. Shingler Law, 229-524-1225, the number to call.
Hey, I did want to show this before we left. Charles Pickles sent this today. Look right
Ooh.
there.
Man.
And then, hey, look at this right here.
Mercy.
Garden, string beans, and squash. Charles Pickle Farms.
That's the prettiest squash I ever seen in my life, right there.
I'm telling you.
They ain't no prettier than that.
Don't even look like it's got a blemish on it.
They ain't got a blemish
No.
on it, man. Look at them snap bait. They put all them up too, didn't they, Margaret?
Yeah. Yes. Charles Pickle Farms right there. Hey, here he is right here, our friend, T.C. Berryhill. Berryhill Auctioneers, LLC. You can find them on the World Wide Web, and you can find them doing auctions all across the great United States of America. They started out with a Kenny Rogers look-alike auctioning with them.
Testify.
Yeah.
Perpetuity and exclusivity. Floyd's list of impossibilities and a whole lot more.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, boy. This week I ain't got much done on my list of impossibilities. I got one. I got one. I hope y'all can get by with just one tonight. If y'all will give me a chance, try to make it up next week. And maybe I made it up tonight by telling y'all the hog stealing story there. So maybe I get me off the hook. Here's the only one I got for y'all tonight. Impossibility that Pete Buttigieg, who really don't know if he's a man or what he is. The Pete Buttigieg, Joe Biden's Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg, if you will ever lose a sucking the chrome off of a trailer kickball contest. Here's,
Woo!
here's another one for you. Let me do this.
I thought you just had one.
I got to. Yeah. Pete Buttigieg, Joe Biden's Secretary of Transportation, will ever lose a sucking a tennis ball through a water hose contest. So anyway, I don't know. Lord forgive me. I don't know. I say that about Pete. About old Peter. Old Pete, he
Woo!
about petered out, I think.
Thanks to the folks at Kelly Crop Insurance for being with us every Thursday night. And we have a lot of changes off and on coming up in the weather. A lot of these, why don't you take a look at these numbers? You'll notice that there is no mention of rain in the forecast for the next couple of days. Well, that's according to which weather forecaster you're listening to. There is a chance for some scattered showers, but not as big a chance as we have had for the last couple of days. The chances do come back pretty strong when we get to Sunday, looking at anywhere from depending on where you are, 45 to 80% chance. The good news is a little cooler air moves back in Monday, Tuesday, and then we get where we should be this time of the year, around 88, 90 degrees. We'll get back to that on Thursday, but there's a chance of shower activity every day in the forecast all the way through next Thursday. Again, thanks to the folks at Kelly Crop Insurance. Had a good time tonight. Good to see Goocher with us. Always good. And the audience we have in the background. I mean, we might need to spread that audience and sell or give away tickets to be a part of the live audience. I think,
Absolutely. We
I
got the
think,
live
I
audience.
think,
They're interacting with us, and it's
yeah,
just like we're not in a studio or something. So we got live people here with us. We got a live
y-
audience here on
yeah, yeah.
Flamingo Boulevard.
Now we don't have the Jimmy Swaggart microphone and the different backgrounds that some people are privileged to have, but we do the best we can from our living rooms and dens. Thank y'all for watching. We love y'all. Hope you've enjoyed something. Hope you got a little laugh. Continue to pray for this nation and the folks that are in power. Our president, you know, you think you got a friend, they'll stab him in the back. We got a lot of that jealousy crap going on. Just pray that our president and our Congress do the right thing. Thank y'all for watching. Floyd, I'll leave it with you.
Thank you, y'all. I appreciate it. Had a good time with y'all tonight. We miss Marvin and Miss Queasel. It's not the same when they're not here. We love them both, and hope everything's good with Queasel. Marvin, he had a prior engagement. He had to go to it, and he didn't have to go to it. He wanted to go to it. That's what he's supposed to do. Uh, Marvin works hard for his church, and Marvin works hard for the Lord. He works a lot harder than I do for the Lord, if you will. And he's we pick on Marvin, but let me tell you, we can pick on him. Me and Charlie can pick on Marvin, but none of y'all better not pick on him. You hear what I'm telling you? We love Marvin. Marvin's our man, and he knows it. Marvin, and the same thing with us. Marvin knows what he coming down on floor at any time he wants to, and it is done. It's done in a spirit of love, and there's very few people that have a relationship like that, especially men folks. Sometimes we get all full of ourselves and all pumped up and all big time, and we a big shot, and we the man, and we all this. But let me tell you, you can get humbled real quick
Sure can.
because life can throw you a curveball
Ooh,
that you ain't got no idea where it come from or where it went. So you
That's
do
right.
not think that you are the most important person in the world, and do not think for a second that you are immune from adversity because you're not. It's coming, you just don't know when, but be ready for it. And when it comes, you better make sure you got a real good foundation. You better make sure your foundation is in the Lord Jesus Christ, and you better make sure that you got people around you that love you and support you in whatever you're doing or whatever you're going through. And let me tell you what you do need to do. If you got somebody in your family that's in the hospital somewhere, that they sick somewhere and they need some help somewhere, and you hadn't talked to them, and don't throw them away like you throw away a bird dog that went hunting. You reach out to them, you touch them people, and you call them up. You call them up right now. If you got somebody that you ain't talked to in a while, an important person in your life that you ain't talked to in a while, you call them up on the phone right now. That's the best you can do right now is give them a call. Call them and tell them you love them. Tell them I love you and I'm thinking about you. Is there anything I can do for you? And that's it for me tonight. I done said enough. I done preached and I done had fun and
that,
we laughed. Go ahead, Charlie.
I want to add one thing to what you just said, Floyd. We do pick on Marvin, but I'll say this: Marvin Sunday morning at Flat Creek Baptist Church had a sermon that should have touched everybody that heard it. It was on giving. You say that, oh, you talk about the money. Oh, it was about being a cheerful giver, whether it be the amount of money given to the church, but more than that, it was about giving of your time to help others. It's being more Christ-like in your life and helping others. Marvin laid it out there. Floyd, you heard it, and as good as you can get it. And
Yeah.
we appreciate him. We kid with him. But we love him, and we hope he still loves us after what all you said about it earlier in the show. Marvin, it's all yours now.
I guess I had to go back and watch the rerun.
No, don't do that.
Hey, Phillips Auto Parts, the Holster 9, Sawega Meat Company, Shingler Law, TK's Bar and Grill, Ziggy B's Seafood Market, Custom Cattle Service, castrating Carl Cressman in the flesh, Beach Depot, Southern Hissy Fits, Bear Hill Auctioneers, Kelly Crop Insurance. Thank you, guys. We appreciate y'all sponsoring us each and every week right here on Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. Hey, Sundays, come and go to church if you can. Worship the Lord. Do something good for somebody. Laugh every chance you get,
You get.
Lord says. Hey, we love you, Lord. We live in the creek don't rise. We're going to be right back here next week, same place, same time, for more Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. But until then, no matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter who you do it with, and most especially if you just ate a taco bar and desserts, be particular.
Good night, Charlie.
Good night.